The long and gentle process of dying. I've just thought of that title as I got out of the car. Now that I've said it to the camera, I can't use it as a working title anymore. It's going to be the title of this video, which I'm quite happy with. Now, as in most of my videos, I'm absolutely riffing now off the top of my head. I come out in the morning, bring my camera, my microphone, and then pretty much decide what I'm going to talk about. And I like doing this because I don't want to work from a script. I want everything to be spontaneous. I talk about subjects that I have an opinion on, but it is not necessarily everyone's opinion. My facts might not be absolutely precise, but it's like just meeting up with someone and then having a conversation about a subject that they brought up to your best of your ability. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm just riffing. The long and gentle process of dying, but we have to decide what is dying. And I don't think it's as simple as that. There's one way that you can describe dying, and that's when, say, you have a car accident and there's nothing anybody can do for you, and everybody stands around and looks down at you and says, he's dying. You get an illness, a terminal illness, and you begin to feel the effects of that on your body. And you think, I'm dying. But there's also, I think, comes a point in your life when you can start to say, I'm dying. Well, that's both physiological and psychological, and I think it's two completely different things. I think physiologically and psychologically, we die at different rates with different effects. Molly's barking away at squirrels. But to make sense of this, I think we'll have to go and we'll start from the beginning, because that's a very good place to start. Birth. Now, some people say when you were born, as soon as you were born, you start the process of dying. I don't particularly agree with that. I think there is a period in your life when you grow and you develop and you are actually expanding both physically and mentally. And then you reach a point where this plateaus out. As luck would have it, in my opinion, falls about halfway through your life. Anyway, probably between 40 and 50. So you're born and you grow and you're soaking up experiences, you're soaking up information, you're soaking up knowledge, and it keeps coming in and coming in. And I don't want to linger on the growing and developing part of this video too long, because it will end up being way longer than I want it to be. And I want to concentrate on the dying part. And I keep saying the dying part, and it sounds morbid, but it isn't, especially not in my definition. It's developing, you're still developing, but developing towards the end. And it shouldn't be a forbidding or a frightening process. What do I mean by the physicality of dying? Not so much where you stare the end straight in the face and you feel your own mortality and you feel your body breaking down. No, I'm talking about from the process, about the same time that your mind reaches that zenith, then plateaus out. And at about the same time, in my opinion, the body starts that long and slow process of dying. That way you joke about, oh, I bend down and when I get up I go, ugh. I suppose I'm, in a way, in my case, right, I was always very, very fit all my life. I had lots of exercise, great diet, very physical job, kept myself very fit. But then I had a couple of heart attacks. I had a bypass. My heart, half of my heart shut down already. The other half is desperately trying to shut down, and I've kept going with drugs. So I know that I'm not going to be around for that much longer. So in that case, I suppose you could say that I'm dying. This, although it affects me in that I get breathless, I can't walk as far as I could, I can't walk up hills anymore like I used to do all my life in the Lake District. But it doesn't affect me. I adapt to it, and because I adapt to it, I don't notice it. Does that mean that you adapt to dying? Which I think you probably do. I've got a creaky shoulder, and this started several years ago. And I can actually hear it now. I can stand next to somebody and I can rotate my arm and they go, what the hell's that noise? And it's like the bone and gristle grinding against each other. My eyesight's gone. I got to about 40 and I had to start wearing glasses. It's all the process of dying, but not dying. It's getting old, but it is inevitable because you start dying because it's an irreversible process. We don't bimble along till we're about 80 and then start getting things that are really bad and you think, oh, that's me done now, I'm dying. I think this process starts a lot earlier, and it's not something to be frightened of. It's actually something to rejoice in, because there's one thing about it. People call me and people my boomer, and they use it as a term, as a pejorative. And it's not a pejorative. The only way you can use it as a pejorative is if you actually outlive the age I'm going to live to. Until then, I've always got that longevity over you. I've always got that advantage in time and experiences on earth. So as people get older, you kind of reach a point where you actually then feel that things are going wrong, that you can't do things. And then mentally you can start thinking, am I dying? But I don't even think then you are, because you adapt and you enjoy every phase of your life. But I think the process starts when you're about 40. The same time that your mind matures and levels out. And it's a great thing. Old age is a great thing. Not only is it great because you know that you have beat the odds and you're still here and you're still about and you're still thinking. And if you're sharp enough, you can still have a form of opinions. You can still have debates and arguments, and it's all great. You can't run about as much, but who wants to run about? I've ran about as much as I wanted to. You reach a point where you don't want to run about. Leave that for the young guns, whose minds are still developing. Just relax into old age. You're dying. You're not dying from birth, like a lot of people say. I think you're dying from that point where your mind matures, and then that keeps on bright and sharp as a knife, and your body then, in sympathy with it, says, okay, we don't need to run about as much anymore, we don't need to do all these things like we did, so the body will start relaxing. Not dying, relaxing. Perhaps I should have called this the long and slow process of relaxing. And that's what your body do. You relax into old age. You don't need to do the things you did. Yeah, by all means, keep physical, keep going as much as you possibly can. It's all good for you. Look after your body, look after your weight, look after your heart as much as you can. But you relax into it. So it's almost as if the process of dying is there to release your mind, to quieten everything down so that you can concentrate your whole consciousness on enjoying what's around you. Because you can't physically do what you did, your body is saying, okay, I'm going to take a back seat now. You just start thinking. You enjoy your mind. You enjoy the world around you. You enjoy company. You enjoy thought. You enjoy forming opinions, having debates. All people aren't grumpy. Like people say, oh, grumpy old man. No, they're not. They've just concentrate more on the mind and their opinions. Your body slows down, but it's not dying. It's relaxing. It's relaxing into that comfortable armchair of life. and it's expected. Well, it doesn't take us by surprise. People are kind of surprised when they get old and the body starts not working like it does. Don't be surprised. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the ride, it's fabulous. But it gives you something to think about, doesn't it? The long and gentle process of dying goes on for a long time. We're actually dying for half our life, but we're not. Our bodies are changing, and you can say that, okay, our bodies are dying, but perhaps our bodies are just maturing. Our bodies are making way for our minds. Our mind spends so long developing to a point where it's absolutely at its finest. And then our body then says, look, I'm taking a back seat now. I'm going to give you the opportunity to spend the rest of your life thinking about things, talking about things, pondering about things, discussing things. We'll just gently take a back seat now. I'm going to slow down so that you're not running about, you're not thinking about this, you're not thinking about that, you're not on the go all the time, weightlifting and going to the gym and doing that. If you want to do that, that's absolutely fine, but you don't have to. Your body's saying, I'm taking a back seat now. I'm going to sit in this armchair with this cup of tea, and you just carry on doing the carry on. You carry on thinking. You carry on debating. You carry on with that Olympic level mind of yours, which we all have, and we all have the ability to have. And if your body keeps up and your body slows down like everybody's does without anything drastic happening, that's great. You're the lucky one. But don't try to tell yourself that at 70 you're as fit as you were at 20. Your body will slow down. You won't have noticed it because you're adapting. Because your body's adapting, you get aches and pains. You think, I can't lift my arm up more than that. So you don't lift your arm up more than that, and it's fine. Nobody's died, it don't upset anybody. It's just your body saying, you enjoy yourself now. You can enjoy yourself right to the end of the days, because I'm going to be here, sharp as a knife, giving you the ability to be a grumpy old bugger discussing things with opinions that have been formed over decades, and knowledge that has been formed by osmosis and by reading and by listening over decades. That's why old people are great debaters. That's why old people are great orators. If you like our content, please think about subscribing. You either will or you won't. It's not the end of the world. We're going to carry on now because it's absolutely freezing cold. But we're going to carry on just walking until we don't walk anymore. And we find ourselves back home with a cup of tea. I'll see you on the flip. Peace and love.